Nikki Haley is the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. She's with us from midtown Manhattan in New York. Ambassador Haley, good morning.
Good morning.
The president said that the 2015 Iran nuclear deal was, quote, one of the worst and most one-sided transactions the United States has ever entered into. Is that a clear signal that he plans to withdraw from the nuclear deal with Iran?
It's not a clear signal that he plans to withdraw. What it is a clear signal that he's not happy with the deal and that the United States is not safer because of it. I think if you look at the fact that, yes, on one side it deals with the nuclear development, the JCPOA, which everyone talks about, but U.S. law requires it to look at other things, which Iran is in violation of. Arms smuggling, making sure that they're doing ballistic missile testing.
Can't you accept and certify the deal and at the same time pursue Iran on these other aspects of their behavior?
Well, that's the thing, is that's what we have to do, whether it's through U.S. law and other things, is to start exposing them.
Iranian President Rouhani said in his words that leaving the agreement would come at high cost. What's your response to his reaction?
Well, I think what he needs to do is, instead of focusing on us leaving the agreement, he needs to start following the rules. I mean, he's got to stop smuggling arms. He's got to stop all of the meddling that they're doing around the Middle East, their support of terrorism. We've got to see them stop with the ballistic missile testing. So he is not keeping his end of the deal.
And so what he's trying to do is put it on us,
but we have to keep it on him.
Will the United States not certify the deal?
The president has to make that decision, and that's his decision alone. What I can tell you is if he does not certify, he's certainly on grounds to not do that.
Ambassador, let me turn to North Korea and read you some of the comments the president made. He said it's an outrage that some nations would not only trade with such a regime, but would arm, supply, and financially support a country that imperils the world with nuclear conflict. Is the president talking about China and Russia? And if so, why did he not name them specifically?
I think he was talking to all countries. You know, we've got countries in Africa that do trade with North Korea. We've got countries around the globe that interact with North Korea. And what we're saying is this is a country who is threatening its neighbors, threatening the United States, continuing to use ballistic missile testing, but now also nuclear bombs that they're testing. And we have to stop every ounce of funding that they use to do bad things.
Ambassador, did you know that the president was going to refer to Kim Jong-un, the president of North Korea, as Rocket Man? And if so, do you think that that kind of language and that kind of mocking is helpful? But first, did you know he was going to use that terminology?
I did. I was aware that morning that he was going to use it. And I will tell you, just to let you know what this does, I had a meeting with the president of Uganda the day before, and he was referring to Kim as Rocket Man before the president even gave the speech.
Under what circumstances, what specific circumstances would the United States launch an attack against North Korea?
We have lots of military options, so it's not just the destruction. There are steps that lead up to that. What I can tell you is no one wants war. The president doesn't want war. We have tried to do this through dialogue. We've tried to do this through sanctions. We've tried every diplomatic measure that we possibly can. We're not giving up on that. We have said to Kim multiple times, we don't want regime change. We don't want war. What we want you to do is stop testing and stop working on nuclear production. But they have chosen not to do that.
Okay, but the president has used words like fire and fury before. I mean, what do you believe is necessary to get his attention?
Well, I think that's the problem, is no one knows how to get his attention. So all you can do is continue to let him know what could happen if he doesn't stop. But I can tell you everyone's trying to get his attention. Japan and South Korea are very grateful to us. China has tried dialogue, and that relationship has broken down. Everyone is trying to figure out how to get to Kim. That's the problem. We just don't know how.
Ambassador Haley, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much.